Hey everyone, this is Ryan from Shoe Podcast, and we are back with another unboxing. That's right, this time it's the Rukus and New Balance Voodoo Doll 440. Now before we get into the shoe here, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. As you probably guessed from the name, we are a sneaker podcast, but we're not only a podcast, we also do interviews, we do lives, and as you can tell, we do unboxings. So if you're into any of that sort of stuff, please do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. It takes a second of your time and it actually really helps us out. So as I said at the top of the video, this is the Rukus and New Balance Voodoo Doll 440, a shoe that I am very excited to finally have in my hands, as I understand it was a very long time in the making on this one. And thanks to the guys over at Rukus for sending these over for us to check out early. Just from the look of the box, these are crazy. The box comes in this sort of like wood grain pattern that gives me kind of like a crate or like a coffin vibe, I guess, from like the Voodoo Doll motif, with this design on the top of it that's got snakes and a heart and a little hidden 103 right there at the bottom. If you know, you know. Moving to the side of the box, it's got a wavy Rukus logo on one side. And then on the other side, where the size tag is, you can see it's the numeric 440 US Voodoo Doll. And this is a little detail I love on it. Normally on New Balance shoes right here, it would have like on the numeric stuff, it would have the purpose of like skateboarding, running, whatever. On this, they put doing cool shit, which is a kind of a nod to something that the owner Ronnie says a lot, of just doing cool shit. As you can see, I went true to size 11 on these. I've got no issue with them. So I think that's, you know, everything about a box. Let's go ahead and get them open because I'm just as excited as y'all to see what's inside here. Oh man, okay, there's like a million things in here. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, hang on, let me rotate this around. Okay, so going past the shoes here for a second, let's see what else we've got in the box. There is like a prayer candle over here with a skeleton on it with a cigar, and another little 103 in the flame right there of it. I wonder, these will all make like nice little accessories for our unboxing. Let's try and like get these all in frame here as we do it. You've got the little Voodoo doll itself, the one that they featured in like a lot of the promo rollout materials for this, the little teaser videos they did. We've got a couple of stickers. So this one's kind of like a stitched sort of stencil outline there. Two skeleton dancing around the fire. And then one more right there. Let's see, get these all over to the side. Man, they packed this thing with stuff. A little keychain with a coffin on it. Okay, and the little script logo right there on the top. Rukus 2000 till infinity. Love that. We've got a lace bag. Okay, this is wow. This is nice that all the little laces come in here. So little like a little burlap canvas bag with, okay, we've got some extra laces. Comes with black laces and these sort of like brownish laces. We'll see. Okay, white laces come on the shoe. And then, oh, it's got like all this like straw or hay in the bottom of it. That's kind of like, you know, very much gives me like the crate vibe, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, like, you know, the box that's put away in like Top Men, you know? And then I'm assuming this is like a big dust bag for it. So you get a big like another burlap canvas bag that's like a dust bag for the shoes. Wow. So how many is that? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 accessories that come in the box with these shoes. Kudos to the guys over at Rukus for really just like jam packing this thing for everyone. You're really, I don't know what the retail's gonna be on these, but I feel like you're really getting your money's worth. Let's see, do we have the price on the side of the box? No, maybe it'll be on the screen right now. Okay, I'm sure y'all can probably tell, but I'm very excited to finally have these in my hand. And they are so nice in hand. You can see they've got like that Voodoo doll color motif to them, kind of like the little one that comes with them in the box here, where like a lot of this sort of light brown tan between the suede and the burlap is meant to mimic like the body of the Voodoo doll. And then these little red accents are like all the little like heart patches and everything that would be on like a Voodoo doll. So starting off on the bottom of the shoe, you can see that the mud guard, the toe, the eye stays, and the heel all come in this light brown or tan suede. It's like a medium hair suede. It's not the longest hair suede, but it's not the shortest by any means. It's nice, it's soft, it moves to the touch. What more could you ask for in a suede? And then moving up to the midfoot of the shoe here, you get what is my favorite material on this shoe, and that is that burlap or canvas, which is like real thick, real like loose knit on there. It's not loose in that it's like separated from the shoe, it's adhered well, so I don't think it's gonna pull off, but it's like you can see between the knit on there this sort of like red undertone of thread that's underneath it, which is pretty cool. On the outside of the shoe, you've got the New Balance logo, the red N, in a tumbled red leather with the thick black accent stitching. Again, that's meant to represent like the Voodoo doll. And on the inside of the shoe, you've got just the silhouette or the outline of that New Balance end. So I always love when they do that, where they kind of flip it between the outside and the inside there, so you get a little more versatility out of it. That burlap material then also carries over to the tongue, which I like. You get it kind of broken up a little bit by this canvas sort of like it's not a lace lock, it's not an eye stay, but you know what I mean, like where you can put your laces through the top little hole here. And then you've got the tongue tags on the top here, which have the New Balance numeric logo, and then underneath it is the Rukus cursive logo. On the inside of it, oh, that's cool, it's another 103 right on the inside of it there. And then along the outside of the tongue, you have a red satin, maybe that's satin or nylon, sort of pipe stitching that kind of gives some definition and shape to the edge of the tongue, helps it pop and separate a little bit there from the rest of the shoe. Then moving around to the back of the shoe, you get what is probably my second favorite, or maybe arguably my favorite detail. Y'all gonna have to bear with me. I'm really excited about this, so I'm gonna probably tell you everything is my favorite. But this little button that's stitched on the back of the shoe of the heel, it's on the outside, it's not on the inside of it as well. It's obviously meant to represent like the button eyes on a Voodoo doll, which I think is so cool that they were able to toss that on there. For what it's worth, it is very tightly stitched on there. It's not loose, so I don't think you're gonna have to worry about that like popping off over time or anything like that. And then moving towards the top of the back of the heel here, you've got the heel cap covered, again in that red tumbled leather, which reminds me of like the heart patch on a Voodoo doll that would normally be stitched on there. And at the very top of the heel, you've got a glossy embossed 103. So you've got lots of little hits of the Rukus logo, both on the box and on the shoe in multiple different places there, which is pretty cool because, you know, this 103 that's on the inside of the tongue is going to be on the inside of the tongue. You're never going to see it when you wear it. But this one on the back, you're going to see that. It's going to catch the light in just the right way. Okay, something else I just recognized or realized that I was looking at, because it's kind of subtle and you don't really, I think you don't really notice it's there until you're paying attention. But along this heel panel that's suede, you get these thick black stitches that are holding it together there. And that's on both the outside and the inside. So I like that between, you know, these little parts on the heel and then the New Balance end logo itself, they did that thick black stitching to like very much drive home the Voodoo doll point. But they didn't go over the top and throw it all over the entire shoe, because I think that would, you know, it'd look a little weird. It'd look like heavily contrast and outliney. Whereas this is like, you get the idea of it, but without overdoing it. As I mentioned earlier, it comes pre-laced with the white laces here, but love it or hate it, only one on the bottom, which I kind of like. I hate when you get a new pair of shoes and they're completely laced all the way up, but they come with other laces. And so you're like, I want to see what the other laces look like, but you have to completely unlace the shoe first. Make this the normal, okay? Make this the normal, put just one across the bottom. If I want to stick with the white, I can lace it up. But if not, as I said, you've got black laces. Oh, look, they've been hiding in the bag this whole time. And you've got these brown laces. Now for me, I think white laces might be the move here. Brown, I think will get a little bit lost. And then black, I'm not really looking for that harsh pop of color. Red might have been cool. Red might have been cool to see in there, but I think, you know, they gave you 3 laces. That's probably enough. Then moving on to the inside of the shoe, you've got this kind of premium touch here, which is this paisley Sockliner. And it's got, you know, some nice cushions, some nice padding there. It's not like the most supportive thing I've ever felt, but that's the 440, you know, it's nothing specific to this collaboration. And then for the insoles, you've got that same wood grain pattern and drawing that you see from the top of the box there, which is kind of, it's cool. It'll remind you of the box and the box will remind you of the shoes. So you know how often people are like, you shouldn't care about the box. You don't wear the box. In this case, you wear the box. So that's kind of cool. You get to remember what it came in and kind of get that shoved in there as well. Then finally moving towards the bottom of the shoe, you've got these cream midsoles, which every time give me a cream or an off-white midsole instead of a plain white midsole so that it'll look a little bit aged. It won't show dirt as easily. I'm here for it 100 out of 100 times. And gum outsoles, which also, you know, kind of help hide that dirt a little bit better with the little New Balance logo accented in red on the bottom. So final thoughts on these. I've got 2 big things I want to point out. The first one is that I really liked how they use the burlap and suede in combination with each other. I think the suede also helps it keep, you know, functionality wise, a little bit more of that grippiness for, you know, skateboarding if you're actually going to wear these to skate in. But I also think that while covering the entire upper of the shoe in burlap would have been pretty out there and maybe like more true to like a Voodoo doll aesthetic or motif, I think it would have made it a pretty wild wear, which is, you know, for some people what they're looking for, and to others they want to have it a little out there but still be able to wear it, which is kind of myself. So I think these two materials in combination are a really good fit. And lastly, if I was going to nitpick one thing about this shoe, the one thing I wish they would have done differently, I wish they would have incorporated a pin or pins into this somehow. But I understand you can't just ship a bunch of loose needles in a shoebox, but like, you know, maybe like a little pin you can wear that has like the little backing on it, but you could also drive it into the shoe here just to fully drive home that voodoo doll theme. But overall, as I'm sure you can tell, I am very happy and excited about this shoe and really looking forward to wearing it. It is a long time in the making that Rukus gets another shoe collab. Can you believe it's been, what is it now, 9 years since the crawfish dunk, and that was the last shoe they did? So come on, all the shoe companies out there who I know you're watching, I know you're plugged into Shoe Podcast, give the boys another shoe. We want more Rukus shoes, but this is a very exciting next step in that chapter for Rukus footwear. And while that's going to do it for me, we want to hear from y'all. How do you feel about this shoe? Is this something you're really looking forward to getting, or is this a release you're going to sit out and wait for something else to come? However you feel, leave a comment down below and let us know. We want to read through them. We'll reply to a couple and maybe even pin our favorite one. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. But also if you haven't subscribed yet, shame on you. Take a second of your day, hit that subscribe button. I'm telling y'all, it really helps a channel like ours. All right, y'all, this is Ryan from Shoe Podcast. Catch you next time.